So tell us a little bit about what you're doing here at NASA.
So everyone's heard about NASA. So NASA is probably one of the coolest places in the world to work because we have one of the coolest missions. And our mission is to understand everything, right? And so we basically are chartered, right, to further human understanding of how we came to be, and look at exploration into places that people dream to go, right? And so if you look at NASA right now and you look at the focus, the focus on Artemis, going to the moon and then going to Mars, I mean, come on. And then you look at the Science Mission Directorate, like Earth science, heliophysics, astrophysics, planetary science, biological sciences. All of those areas, we have scientists that have dedicated their lives to be some of the best people in the world in understanding and solving the problems. And everything that NASA does goes back to humanity. I mean, America directly and the rest of the world. So, and we build partnerships, right? We build partnerships with other countries. So it's an amazing place to work. And I think that the work that we do does amazing things for everybody. I mean, we've built some of the biggest systems in the world at times in our history. But what we're really focused on at NASA is what is the science and engineering that we enable, because I don't think anyone at NASA headquarters or at Congress care about the size of our system. They care about what science and engineering we do.
Right. And what's fascinating to me is you said earlier that you guys don't actually get rid of any of your data. You house everything. And I think you mentioned it's even on tape.
Yes. Right? So NASA has spent a lot of money capturing data over decades. And so as a system provider, we have no way of knowing whether or not this data is going to be important or not important, right? And so the rule in our facility is we never delete data. If a program manager or project manager wants to get rid of some of their data because it's no longer relevant, they can do that, right? But we will archive their data and save it from year to year to year. And, people are like, well, how do you deal with the data explosion? How do you deal with that? And so if you look at like LTO technologies in the tape field, it's really being driven by industry. And every time they come out with a new technology, it essentially doubles the capability of a tape, right? And so, our tape library now is about 1.5 exabytes of data. And so we don't have it full, right? But we have that capability of doing that much storage. And we will just continue to roll, as it goes.
Yeah, I mean, obviously everything you do is amazing, very data intensive. But is there any one project that you're working on today that's just mind-blowing?
So, to me, mind-blowing is Artemis, right? So getting to the moon and getting to Mars and handling all the challenges that are involved in that. I mean, think about designing craft that have to go through an atmosphere that you don't have, right? I mean, you can't put it in a wind tunnel and simulate that, right? Because you don't have the right atmosphere. And so you're depending on high definition, simulations that, are based on physics that can show that these, how does a parachute open? What's the parachute going to do? Is the parachute going to rip apart? How do you land on the moon? How do you deal with getting things down to the moon, back up from the moon? All of that, that's just, it's what I grew up just dreaming about, right? I mean, going to other planets, that vision is just amazing.
Amazing, and it's all because of all the different compute pieces kind of coming together to enable that, right? And without that, you wouldn't be able to be on those missions. And so you mentioned more and more data is coming in, especially from like satellites and things, right?
Yeah, so there's a couple of things. And so one of them is every time we send up a satellite, that satellite is pouring down an order of magnitude more data down to the Earth. And so being able to take that data do the initial processing of the data and make that data available to the world is a challenging process, but something that NASA is committed to. I'll talk to you about another way that data is used. So wind tunnels, we're now hooking wind tunnels up to our supercomputers. And so in the past, when you did a wind tunnel test, you would do your test, your data would be gathered. Maybe a couple of months later, you'd get your data and you'd look at it, see what happened. Now we're able to get data directly off the wind tunnel to the high-end computers, process the data, prepare the visualizations for the engineers to look at that day.
So in real time?
Real time. Real time would be immediate, so I'd call it near real time. But yes, it's
amazing. Well, it's been such a pleasure, Bill. This has been, I could talk to you for hours about all the amazing things you're doing at NASA. Really, really thank you for your time today and sharing the information.
Thank you for the opportunity. I appreciate it. Take care.
Thank you.